You had just been getting back from the market. They had had a sale on lamb chops, and you wanted to get some from Bakugou, when you saw this really pretty flower. You looked at it, amazed. You had never seen one like this. It was bright and pink and had a purple center. It had all sorts of vines coming from the stem that attached it to the ground, almost like a tent that needed steadying. You looked at it, admiring it, and wondered if you could probably plant a seed from it. You looked and looked. There, right in the center, you saw a seed. Without thinking, you grabbed the flower and picked it. You wanted to show Bakugou this amazing flower. You brought it to your nose and sniffed it. The aroma was beautiful. You put it in your basket and went on your way. You took the path on the right, as you always did. Now that Bakugou was a part of your life, you always seemed to remember which path went where now. Before, you always got it mixed up, but now you actually had something that meant something to you on one of the sides, leaving it easier to remember. Of course, water was necessary, but it had always been such a chore to get it. By the time you get home to Bakugou, he's out on the porch, just kind of laying there. He seems to be just basking in the sun. His jacket is off, the one you had bought for him for Christmas. It was green and had fuzz. He loved it and always wore it. It had been your first ever gift to him, so of course he kept it safe and clean. Well, as clean as he could manage. Right now, he was in a bright white tank top and a pair of long brown pants. Of course, to any other person, it'd be dragging about maybe a foot behind them, but Bakugou was nearly 7 feet due to him being a werewolf, so they actually fit quite nicely on him. You remember having to explain to the shopkeep that you needed pants way longer, and he ended up looking at you crazy, but you paid him extra, so he didn't seem to mind. You smile at the memory.
Hey, what took so long?
He says as he peeks up at you.
You took forever. What's that smell? Did you get some perfume or some shit?
He tilts his head and sits up. You explain to him that you had found a really pretty flower, and that you had wanted to show him so maybe you could plant it and start a garden. You always thought his little cottage could use some flowers and color, for it was very barren, and the only color that it really had was some dark blue shutters that barely even worked anymore.
Let me see it.
You take out the flower and show it to him. He takes it from your grasp and pinches it between his claws and looks at it.
Looks weird. Never seen one like this before. Come on, let's get inside. I'm hungry. Yeah, I'll get a vase.
He puts in a vase and washes his hands, getting ready to cook.
Here, can you put out the groceries for me? Thanks.
Wait patiently at the table with your chin in your palm, watching him as he cooked, his tail swaying behind him as he hummed lightly. Bakugou has yet to notice that he does this while he cooks, and you haven't pointed out yet due to the fact that you know he would stop if you ever said anything about it.
Alright. What do you want? Alright. We got lamb chops or cow beef. Which one? Alright.
You throw some of the meat in the pan after buttering it, and it makes a loud sizzle. All of a sudden, as you move to stand up, maybe go to your guys' room, you feel drowsy. You have to steady yourself by clutching the table.
You alright?
You nod at him and tell him you're fine. You just got up too quickly. You go to move again, and all of a sudden, you're hit with another wave of dizziness. You stumble. Before you can even move any further, Bakugou had turned off the stove and was behind you, holding you steady.
Hey, you okay? What the hell's going on?
You shake your head, saying that you don't know. You just feel ill. Without another thought, he picks you up bridal style and carries you to his room.
Stay right here. I'll be right back.
Minutes later, you see him come back with a nice fuzzy blanket. You would have smiled and said thank you like usual, but your head felt like it was full of cotton, and your body felt really heavy. Lifting it from the pillow had seemed impossible. You felt warm, too, as if you were boiling.
Shit.
He puts the back of his hand to your head and pulls it away with a,
Fuck, you really don't look good,
he says, quietly, almost like he had meant to say it to himself. Without another thought, he takes the blanket off of you now, and you shiver. Why did you feel cold again?
Babe, you're running a fever. Why? I don't know. Come on, let's get you out of these clothes.
He helps you out of them, keeping whatever undergarments you have on, because he didn't want you to be uncomfortable, and then slid the blanket back on top of you. This one much lighter than the other. It would let air pass through it.
Okay. Let me go take your temperature.
When he comes back with an old-fashioned thermometer, one with the red liquid in it, and puts it in your mouth.
I'll get you an ice pack, okay?
He goes and fetches the ice pack without another word. You lay there, your body stifling and hot. You felt ill, but couldn't for the heck of you figure out why. You were fine moments ago. All of a sudden, you felt like throwing up.
Babe?
You dart past him and into the hallway. You just barely make it to the toilet and hurl.
Fuck.
He's already behind you and rubbing your back. You shake and for some reason you start to cry. You felt really bad and ill. Why did you feel so ill? When you're done, he flushes the toilet for you and picks you up, bringing you back to the bed.
Listen to me. I don't want you getting out of bed anymore. Got it?
He puts a trash can next to your bed.
You hurl in this. Got it?
You hum in response, too tired to actually say anything.
Babe. Babe. Hey. Hey! Babe!
He shakes your shoulder, and you finally wake up.
Alright, enough of that. Stay awake, alright? I don't trust you to fall asleep right now. You're really sick.
He takes the thermometer from your mouth with a hiss.
Fuck. You're 105. Shit. I'm gonna get you ice packs, okay?
When he comes back, he has a total of 6 ice packs. He lays your body out straight, your arms at your sides, and your legs together, and your neck straight.
Alright, here we go.
He puts one under the small of your back, one under your neck, then he places one on your head, and then puts one in between your legs, and then he places the other 2 under your armpits.
Alright, this should keep you nice and cool for now.
He kisses your head.
You really are burning up. Alright. Alright. Fuck. Have you been feeling like shit like this all day?
You shake your head no.
When did it start?
You tell me it was when you tried to get up at the table.
Why? What the hell could be wrong? Alright, stay put. Do not fall asleep, do you understand me? I'm gonna be right back.
He runs into the kitchen and goes for medicine when he stops and stares at the flower. He smells it.
Smells weird now that I actually have it up close to my face.
In a moment of shock, he drops the pills to the floor.
Fuck.
He knows what these are. These flowers were old and thought to have been extinct, and they were deadly. They were very, very poisonous, and could leave a person writhing in boiling hot pain for days. Luckily for him, you hadn't reached the pain phase yet, but he knew you were steadily getting there. Most people died from a heart attack from the stress on their body. He bursts into your room again.
We're going to our rockas. Come on,
he says. You look at him, croaking out a small why. But he says nothing, just wraps you up in the thin blanket again and picks you up.
Questions later. Right now we're going.
You worry. What was wrong with you? Were you gonna die? You ask him as much.
No, you're not. Not on my watch, you understand,
he says. He throws you over his shoulder.
Hang on tight,
he says. He grabs his jacket and slings it over his other shoulder on the way out. Before you know it, you're staring at the ground as Bakugou sprints. The world beneath you, it blurs. Now any other person would blame it on being sick, but you knew it was actually because Bakugou was sprinting at a practically inhuman pace. You close your eyes, not wanting to throw up. He was really, really sprinting fast. Now usually it takes about half a day for you to get anywhere near there, but thanks to Bakugou and his amazing speed, you were already there within maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Alright, hang on. Alright. Stay the fuck awake. You understand?
He keeps saying, murmuring soft reassurances that you were gonna be okay.
Stay with me. Do you understand? You're not dying. Not on me,
he says. You go into the shop, and Bakugou now has you bridal style in his arms.
Araka!
He roars, putting you on the nearest surface, which looked to be like an old chair. It was wooden, but had red cushioning on it. You groan in agony at the loud voice he uses. Your head was now starting to pulse and ache. You felt really, really dizzy.
It's alright. Hey, keep those eyes awake, alright? Keep those eyes open.
He keeps muttering, cupping your cheek and putting his forehead to yours.
Araka!
He roars again. He looks around and sniffs. He sees a note on the counter, saying that Arako is out of town right now, visiting her family. She'd be back in a total of 2 weeks.
Shit. Fuck. Damn it!
He stomps loudly, shaking the whole place with his strength. You whimper.
It's alright. Alright, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fucking fine. Do you understand me? You are not dying on me. Okay. Okay. Everything's fine. Alright. Behind the counter. She has shit behind the counter. Alright. Let's see. Book. She must have like some sort of like medicine book in here.
He grabs the nearest book he can look and looks at the cover.
No.
Grabs another.
No.
Grabs another.
The shit? Yowie. What even is that? Whatever.
Puts it back on the shelf. Finally, he comes across a book with a purple color spine and brown covers with gold etches in it. He sees a red bookmark on it and turns it to the page.
Healing. Fuck, perfect. Alright. Poisoning. Come on, poisoning.
He comes across a page that says fatal illnesses / poisonings.
Okay.
He looks at them, reading the list of ingredients.
Are you serious? There's no fucking pictures in it? better have this shit labeled.
He moves around the shop in a frantic, hurried pace.
Come on. Alright. This. And, that one. Right. Yes. Thank God she has this shit labeled.
He looks at you, worry in his gaze. You looked worse.
Hey, keep those eyes open, alright? I'm almost done. Just... fuck. Stay awake, alright?
All you do is stare at him, not having really the energy to do much else. You blink as if to say, I know, I'm trying. He goes and puts a bunch of stuff into a cauldron. You don't really pay attention to what, but before you know it, he is screaming,
Fuck! This is easier than I fucking expected. I did it!
Before you know it, he grabs a soup ladle from a nearby shelf and takes a scoop. He pours a brown-tinged, syrupy-like substance into a glass. He looks at the book again, as if to double-check he's doing something right. Once satisfied, he puts another scoop into the cup and brings it over to you.
You have to drink all of this,
he says. He holds it to your lips.
Open up.
It smells absolutely foul, and you crunch up your face, shaking your head no. And then you look at him as if he had just took a shit on your great ancestors' graves.
Babe, do not make me force feed you this. It's either this or fucking nothing, do you understand?
You sit up a bit more with the help of Bakugou, and he tilts back your head, and you open your mouth, and he slowly starts to pour the syrupy-like substance down your throat. The taste is absolutely disgusting, and you nearly gag. And if it wasn't for Bakugou being there, literally holding the cup to your lips and making sure you drank it all, that you would have.
You're doing good, alright, just a little more,
he tells you, kissing your forehead. Sooner or later, you drink it all, disgust evident on your face.
Come on. Let's get you back home, alright? If I did it right, you should feel better in a little bit.
You want to nod, but your body felt like jello. He grabs you, and you blink your eyes. And when you blink them again, you're back at the cottage. You rub your eyes, stifling a yawn. When you turn, you're met with the sight of Bakugou shirtless in bed, the moonlight overhanging, and him clutching your hand to his chest. There were 2 fingers on your pulse. He had seemingly fell asleep, holding his hand there. You scooch closer to him, shaking his shoulder a bit. Suddenly, 2 piercing red eyes open up, the ones that you love oh so much, and he looks at you before tackling you and kissing you.
You scared the shit out of me. Never do that again, do you understand? Fucking A. It was the goddamn flower. Shit. Next time you see something weird, you come get me first. You understand?
You nod, apologizing, but he shushes you and just kisses you again.
Consider this payback for scaring the shit out of me.